Happy day, YouTube. So maybe it's a misleading title. I don't really remember a past life, but since I was a little girl, my mom has always thought that, oh man, the ground is wet. That's okay. My mom has always said, you're my mother. I swear, you're just like my mother. And it wasn't until a lot of series of incidences happened that I started to really think about it. It's like, whoa, some of this stuff is too bizarre, too bizarro. And so maybe I am her mother. And okay, so I'll tell you the story. Well, first off, four-leaf clovers. I find them all the time, even when I'm not looking for them. In fact, I find them more when I'm not looking for them. And just like the other day, I wasn't looking for them, I was just running errands, and it was like all day long I was finding four-leaf clovers everywhere. It's like they miraculously appear. And my mom's mother, my grandmother, her name was Lisa. So my grandmother, who I never met because she died a few years before I was born, used to find four-leaf clovers all the time, just like I do, apparently. Well, okay, so the other coincidence is my grandmother, she actually died of colon cancer. And I have battled a stomach condition, chronic stomach condition, my whole life. And that's another coincidence. And then there's some more. Like, I have a fear of driving. I hate driving. It freaks me out. Anyone that knows me knows I only drive if I have to. And I don't really drive. I don't drive on the highway. I'm scared to. Like, I have a mortal fear of driving that I can't quite explain. Well, my grandmother refused to drive. Refused. She never got her driver's license, ever. She refused to. She had a mortal fear of driving. And okay, so that's three coincidences, and then there's others. Like, this was the thing that happened that really convinced me was I went to Würzburg, Germany, which is where my mother's from. And it's also, where my grandmother was born and raised, and I went to Würzburg, Germany. And I'm walking through a store, and I was going to buy some perfume. And that was the only thing I really wanted, was just some perfume, because they wouldn't let us take liquids on the plane. And I was like, man, I'm stinky, I need something. And I'm walking through this department store, and I just grabbed the first bottle that popped out at me. It just and I was like, oh, that's the one I'm gonna get. And I walk over to my mom, because my mom and I were traveling Europe, and I said, I'm gonna get this one, and my mom about died. She was just like, that's my mother's perfume. She wore that her whole life. She never wore any other perfume. I had no way of knowing this. The bottle just popped out at me, all right? And ooh, goosebumps, it's kind of creepy. And then, not only that, but all the time that I was in Würzburg, I kept having these deja vu, like, oh my God, I've been here before. Oh, I recognize this. It was very bizarre. And then we went up to the gravesite where her parents were buried, and I'm standing at the gravesite, and something says, wait a second, this is a different gravestone. And I said to my mom, I said, Mom, was there a different gravestone here before this one? And she said, how did you know that? I had no way of knowing that. I just, for some reason, I knew that. And it is too creepy. And then the other thing is I do have some strange memories since I was a child of burning buildings, burning buildings. Well, my grandparents, they went through World War II. They lived in bombed out buildings, and And so there's so many coincidences that it's like I kind of wonder. It's like, and not only that, but I've often felt like I have to be mom when it comes to my mom. Like she parties more than I do. All those things. I have to be mom. I have to be like, make sure she's, doesn't hurt herself. Blah blah blah. Ever since I was young, and so maybe I am my grandmother from a past life. I don't know. Kind of wonder. I don't know about reincarnation, but it's so many coincidences. It's a little bizarre, just a little bit. So, yeah, that's my story. That's my story. I don't actually remember a past life, but I may be my grandmother reincarnated. I hope that you're having a beautiful day. It is a beautiful day. Beautiful day. Love you. Bye.